Hi, my name is Caleb Bronco, and today we are testing out a new wireless microphone system from LensGo, the 348C. So let's get into it. A quick disclaimer before we jump in. LensGo did send me this mic to review, but they are not paying me and they have no input on this video before its release. The LensGo 348C is a super compact microphone and receiver system that rivals the Rode Wireless Go 2, but with a few twists. The microphones come in this really cool like AirPod style charging case, which is kind of cool. Open it up and then there's slots for the receiver, the two mics, and then accessories, I guess. And I thought that was kind of cool. Also, what's fun is it's shaped just like the microphone. So it's just a really big microphone, although you can't record to this one. So that's fun. And similar to the Rode Wireless Go 2, it can record two subjects at the same time with the two microphone modules straight to the one receiver that is plugged into your camera. But also, you can record directly to the device itself, which is very handy as a backup or in case there's any interference. Getting into the build quality of this system, I think it's really cool that it comes with its own charging case, kind of AirPod style, so you can just drop them in and they can just charge on the go. However, that's kind of where the fun stops for me because the build quality is pretty atrocious from just using it. This case feels incredibly cheap. The plastic on this feels like a Happy Meal toy that you would get at McDonald's, which I hope is not being too mean, but that's exactly what it feels like to me. And it's not much different either for the actual modules themselves. They are pretty similar plastic. They sound hollow, and it feels like a toy. It feels really cheap. It doesn't feel like a professional microphone system like they advertise it as. One thing they advertise a lot on these is the magnetic pop-off little thing with this clip here for like tucking into shirts or belts or whatnot, which the idea is great. It's a really cool idea, concept. In practice, absolutely atrocious for a couple reasons, which I will get into. First of all, the magnet is a circle, so on the back of here, when it's plugged in, it just spins around freely. So trying to get it to plug into, or not plug, but clip onto a subject is just kind of a nightmare, to be honest. It just spins around and doesn't actually hold it well. I really think they should have used a square. It would have made a lot more sense. It just slots right in. And then also, while you're trying to clip it, I don't know if you can see that, it just kind of pops back and it feels like it's gonna go flying because it's just gonna go boop and just go flying. Thankfully, the magnets are pretty tough, but not great. Also, more to the point on the magnets, so on this one, works great. On the one that is in my pocket that is currently recording the audio for this video, within 5 minutes of opening the box, the glue holding the magnet in on the back of the clip, I guess, just failed. And so now it doesn't have a clip. So I'd have to re-glue it, but also it's really hard to get the magnet out of this little slot. So finding that pretty difficult, so that's fun. So yeah, honestly, the build quality of this is absolutely atrocious. So keep that in mind. And it's not even just the case or the modules that feel cheap. The actual, the cords that come with it, the TRS, the TRRS, it feels very, very flimsy and very, very cheap. I just not a fan of the build quality and the accessories that come with it. They feel equally just as cheap. But I really like the idea and the design that they went for with just kind of being able to like drop them in and close it, and then they can charge like on the go or in your bag. That's great. I love that idea. Also, it's kind of cute that the charging case is just a giant microphone. Kind of fun. Getting into the features for this system, the batteries on the microphones will last up to 7 hours, and the batteries on the receiver will last for up to 8 hours. I haven't personally tested this myself because I don't have 7 or 8 hours just to sit around and wait for a little thing to die. I don't have 8 hours of talking to do. Maybe I do. Who knows? Anyway, though, that's great. Similar to the Rode Wireless Go 2. That's a perfect amount of time to be able to get whatever you need done. And if you need to charge it, again, the charging case, very, very handy. They use a 2.4 gigahertz wireless transmission signal, which is the same as a Wi-Fi system and a lot of other like electronics. So it's a pretty strong connection, but if you're in a very built up area or there's a lot of like electronics around you, it can interfere with the signal, which is why being able to record straight to the system itself instead of having to transmit it to the receiver is awesome, either as a backup or just being able to do that by itself. That is a huge plus. Something I noticed is that the signal from the microphone to the receiver cuts out pretty easily. It's not the strongest connection unless you're basically facing directly towards the receiver and there's nothing blocking the path. Like if you're facing the camera and then you turn around and you're basically your body is blocking the signal, it'll cut out almost every time, which is why you pretty much, to use this system like on the go, you pretty much have to record to the like device itself, which I don't really have a problem with, but it could make monitoring it for someone operating the camera a little bit difficult. Something I do like is on the microphones there is a actual record button, which is very nice, and then to start and stop the recordings you hold it down for about 3 seconds and it'll start to flash red, so you know that you're like recording, which is very helpful, that there's actually a light or something telling you, hey, it's recording, because there's a lot of devices that I've seen that you just kind of have to hope that it's working, so that's pretty nice. They say that the microphone can transmit up to 230 feet, which is half the distance of the Rode Wireless Go 2, which is a little bit disappointing. And the optimal distance for recording to the receiver is 130 feet, which is not that much for this type of system, but it should get the job done. When recording the 2 microphones to the 1 receiver, it does the same thing as the Rode Wireless Go 2, where it records 1 microphone to the left channel and then the other microphone to the right channel, which is fine. It gets the job done, but you have to make sure that in post you separate the 2 tracks. So you got to duplicate the audio and then switch the left and the right. So you have the 2 different people. Otherwise, you're going to have one person coming out of one ear and the other person coming out of the other ear, and it's just going to sound just awful. So definitely make sure to hop in and do that if you're recording 2 subjects at the same time. But how is the audio quality for this device? Well, you have actually been hearing this entire video so far recorded from this lav straight into the LensGo 348C. So if you like it, there you go. You've been hearing it this entire time. The transmission from the microphone to the receiver within the optimal distance is great, but anything outside of that, or if you're turning, or if you're like, if anything's blocking you, like if you walk behind a wall, or if you're going through like a crowd of people, it's gonna get pretty messed up pretty quickly. So I don't personally think I would rely ever on the receiver itself, and I would always record to the device itself. But now onto the price, which could basically make or break this product. If it's really cheap, it's gonna be amazing, absolutely killer. If it's expensive, I don't really see a point. And it costs $250. So it's $50 less than the Rode Wireless Go 2, which if you're on a really strict budget, that $50 savings could be well worth it. But personally, I would spend the extra $50 and get the Rode Wireless Go 2. It has way more features, minus the charging case, and they are built like tanks. But if you don't really care about the build quality and you're just going to be using this inside and for light stuff, and that $50 savings means a lot to you, this would be a fantastic product for you. One thing that's kind of weird though is the only place that I can find this system for sale, even though they sent it to me, is on eBay. That's the only place that I've seen it listed. It's not on any of like the camera websites. And if you go to their own website, it's really weird because when you hit the buy it now button, it just pulls up an email to send to them. So I don't know what that's about, if you have to inquire about them, but I don't know. I wouldn't have a buy now button on your website if you're not actually just going to sell it and put it into a cart. It's very strange. I think it is so great that we are starting to see more and more of these wireless microphone systems popping up on the market, because it's finally bringing some competition and they have to step their game up, and they're bringing new ideas like this charging case, which I think is really cool. And I think we're going to see some really cool devices in the near future, especially I think a Mark II of this could practically be perfect if they just fix a few of the issues like the build quality and just a little bit of the design, and maybe add some more recording formats. I think that would be excellent. But with all that being said, that is going to do it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, please consider liking and subscribing. It is 2022. I am going to hit the ground running, even though it's February already. Going to be making a lot more YouTube videos this year. I'm going to really focus on this channel. And yeah, I think that's going to be about it. If you have any video ideas for me, or reviews that you would like to see, or companies that I should reach out to see if they would like to collaborate, let me know down in the comments. I would love to hear that. But anyways, I will catch you in the next one. See ya.